G'day class users, this video is on the new bulk insert tool for referrals and informations. It's geared towards high level administrator permissions, so center admins and above. And these are the guys who normally have access to this tool. You wouldn't usually give it to general workers. However, if you so chose to do so, you could add them in the permissions. All right, how does this work? So firstly, how do you get there? Be showing you it's under tools and bulk insert. But before I go into that, I want to show you the intake window just because it shows us how class thinks about information to referrals. Now you'd be aware that you can create an information here or a referral. That would be just an individual one. And this whole thing's about the fact that we sometimes get a whole bunch at once and want to import them. So the process was more or less copied from how the previous database Silsys did it. And down the bottom here, it actually shows us what is going on. We have referral referred from, and that actually is not part of the national data standards. It's just what community legal centers in the main like to keep tabs of. This is all about referral to on the referral side of the ledger, and it's also not about reasons for referral. So it's these two that count, and they are defined by the national data standards. You have essentially simple referrals and facilitated referrals. And for those who don't understand the difference, essentially in the olden days, they used to call them warm referrals. That was facilitated. It's where the lawyer or say CLC worker makes a phone call for the client on behalf of the client, say, and says, oh, you know, I've got this person here. Is it suitable? Can they come down and see you, etc. You essentially warmly introduce them, whereas simple just means telling the client, all right, off you go and see these guys, and they'll go and do it themselves. That's the difference. And then, of course, inside we've got all the kind of places we have the referral to, whether simple or facilitated, and they can be edited by each center under system settings and types and categories if you want to go down that path and add them as a level 3 local code. But in the end, the level 2 codes are what comes up in this bulk insert. So let's go back and have a look at how this works. All right, so the first page we get is our list of each single reports. What are they? Well, essentially you set one up per month. You'll have to set one for each funding category, and you'll also have to set up 2 per month, one for facilitated and one for the simple referrals. That's how it works. Now the informations, as I'll show you, can be attached to any report. You can just add them to the current report you're working on as you go. All right, what does that mean in practice? So we want to create a new one from here, or we can click in. Let me click in first and I'll show you what you see. You essentially see the front page, which I'm going to walk you through, and then there's another tab, and the tab details is where you put all the details in. This is a grid pattern, as you can see. Works a little bit better if you're fortunate enough to have a slightly bigger screen. I'm on a small laptop here, that's why it's a bit squashy. But essentially, the grid goes across the top and down the side. Down the side is the level 2 problem type, so your main legal problem types, and across the top is your referral to types. So your local codes won't be in here, but your local codes are always nested under one of these anyway, so even if it means other. Down this side, the very last one, that's an important one because that's where you put in your informations, and you can save them. But let's go back and do this from the start. We're here back on the front page, which is Tools, Bulk Insert, and we want to go down the path of adding a new record. So we click New, and we'll need to put ourselves a month in, year and month. So let's put in our year, and let's say it's back in time in this case because we've got some old records sitting there and it's March. You might want to put some information there to tell fellow workers what this one's actually about, and you'll need to select only one funding category, and then here we get to decide whether it's a facilitated or simple. Okay, again, you'll need to do one for each month if you've got a mix of both. And then finally, this is a really important one. When it's locked, that really is useful for when you've completed the report. You lock it and save it, and that means it will go to your reports. But to edit it, you want it to be unlocked. So I'm going to start with that one unlocked, and I'll say, well, I haven't got a funding category, and here we go. So now we're over to the front page and it's saved, but we have a details tab. So it's unlocked, so now I can edit the details page. So here it's really about putting in your figures. So it might have 10 of these advices, and maybe I have a couple of different kinds of informations, 15 there. And then of course I can scroll down, and if I'm not really sure, so maybe I just need to find other and things along those lines. We can also click and put it in better alphabetical order, etc. So once we've decided that that's good enough for now, we can go save. And we may say, right, well, that's all I've got for the month, so let's lock it and save it. However, you may not need to lock it yet because you haven't finished. Maybe you've got another week in the month and you know you're going to have a couple of records left next week. So you could just save it as is, so you could go back and finish the job next week. But if you do want to complete it, you will need to lock it and save it. And now, when we head back to the front page, that's the one at the top. That was the newest. Now you can see this one, we'll have to change the wording. It actually just means locked. So is it locked? Yes, it is. But you can still go and edit it afterwards. But just remember, locked means it'll turn up in reports. Unlocked means you can edit it. And that is essentially the basis of bulk inserts. So Christopher signing off.